What if you're actually more attractive now than you were at 30, and nobody ever said it out loud? Yeah. Let that sink in. What if the reason people look at you differently isn't because you've aged, but because you've evolved? Have you ever walked into a room and felt eyes on you, not in the loud, flashy way from your 20s, but in a quieter, more intentional way? Longer glances. Softer smiles. A different kind of energy. And you couldn't quite explain it. Here's the truth nobody really talks about. We've been sold this idea that beauty has an expiration date. That once youth fades, so does attraction. That's the lie. Because real beauty doesn't disappear. It shifts. It deepens. It sharpens. It becomes magnetic. In your 20s, attention can be automatic. But later in life? If people notice you, it's deliberate. And that hits different. Maybe you've brushed it off. Maybe you've told yourself, oh, they're just being polite. Maybe you've downplayed the compliments. But what if you've been underestimating yourself this whole time? By the end of this video, you might start connecting dots you never noticed before. Because the signs are there. They've been there. And once you see them, you won't unsee them. Let's get something straight right now. There's a massive difference between attention and admiration. In your 20s, attention can be loud. Quick looks. Surface compliments. It's reactive. But admiration? That's intentional. That's chosen. And that kind of attraction doesn't even peak until later. Youth is about appearance. Maturity is about presence. And presence is powerful. When you walk into a room now, you're not competing. You're not trying. You're not seeking approval. You've lived. You've learned. You know who you are, and who you're not. That's self-awareness. It changes the way you move. It changes the way you speak. It changes the way people respond to you. Attraction in your younger years might have been about symmetry and smooth skin. But now? It's about energy. It's about composure. It's about the calm confidence that makes people feel something when you're around. And here's what's wild, most women don't even realize when it starts happening. They assume they're fading. When in reality, they're refining. So now let's break it down. Here are 7 clear signs that you're far more attractive than you think, and it has nothing to do with looking 25 again. Let's start with something subtle, but powerful. Have you noticed that people don't just say, "You look nice"? Instead, they say things like, "You have such a calming energy. There's just something about you. I love being around you." That's not random. When compliments shift from surface level to presence level, that's a glow-up most people don't even recognize. In your younger years, compliments might have been about hair, body, outfits. Now, it's about how you make people feel. And that's a whole different league. Presence is magnetic. It's the way you enter a room without rushing. The way you listen without interrupting. The way your voice carries steadiness instead of noise. There's a grounded energy that develops over time, and when you own it, people feel safe around you. And safety is attractive. Not a chaotic attraction. Not a drama-based attraction. But deep, steady admiration. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room anymore. You don't need to prove anything. Your stillness does the talking. If strangers strike up conversations with you. If people seem comfortable opening up around you. If someone has ever told you that you have a beautiful aura or strong presence. That's not politeness. That's impact. And here's the kicker, presence can't be faked. It's built through experience, resilience, and self-acceptance. Which means if you have it now, you earned it. And this next sign? It gets even more interesting, especially when younger women start noticing you. Here's where things get interesting. When younger women start complimenting you, that's not random. That's respect. Think about it. Younger women don't hand out admiration easily. They're in their prime comparison years. They're observing everything. So when one of them says, "I love your outfit. Where did you get that bag? I hope I age like you." That hits different. Because you're not dressing to compete anymore. You're dressing with intention. There's something powerful about a woman who knows what works for her and sticks to it. Not chasing every trend. Not trying to look 25 again. Just refined. Effortless. Put together. And effortless elegance? That's rare. Maybe it's the way your clothes fit, tailored, not tight. Maybe it's your silver hair styled with confidence instead of covered in panic. Maybe it's the small details, clean nails, structured posture, a signature fragrance. That's not trying hard. That's mastery. And here's what most people miss: younger women aren't just noticing your fashion. They're noticing your comfort in it. When you wear something and it feels like you, people can sense that alignment. There's no insecurity leaking through. No overcompensating. No desperation for approval. Just ease. And ease is attractive. But style is only the surface layer. The next sign? It's psychological. And once you notice it, you won't miss it again. Now we're getting into the real psychology. Watch what happens when you talk. Do people hold eye contact a little longer? Do they lean in slightly? Do conversations with you feel focused? That's not accidental. Eye contact is one of the strongest subconscious signals of attraction and respect. When someone is disengaged, their eyes wander. When they're captivated, they stay. If people consistently maintain eye contact with you, especially in group settings, that's a sign your presence carries weight. And here's why. You're not speaking to impress anymore. You're speaking from experience. There's a difference between talking fast to fill the silence and speaking calmly because you're comfortable with pauses. When you slow down. When you articulate clearly. When your voice carries steadiness instead of nervous energy. People listen. Confidence in speech is incredibly attractive. Not loud confidence. Not dominating the room confidence. Grounded confidence. Maybe you've noticed that when you share a story, people stop checking their phones. Maybe they nod more. Maybe they ask follow-up questions instead of changing the subject. That's engagement. And engagement is earned. There's something magnetic about a woman who doesn't rush her words, who doesn't over-explain, who doesn't apologize for having an opinion. It signals self-worth. And self-worth changes the entire dynamic of a conversation. But here's the part most women overlook. Sometimes the attraction isn't just in the conversation. It's in the details that people notice about you while you're not even thinking about it. And that brings us to the next sign. Now let's talk about something physical, but not in the way you think. Have you noticed that when people compliment you now, it's specific? Not just, "You look good." But, "Your skin is glowing." "I love your silver hair." "You stand so tall." That's not small talk. Those are vitality signals. Here's what most people don't realize: as we age, health and self-care become more attractive than youth ever was. Clear skin. That signals care. Shiny, well-kept hair. That signals pride. Strong posture. That signals confidence. And posture, especially? It's huge. When you stand tall, shoulders back, chin level, you instantly shift how people perceive you. Slouching can make anyone look tired. But standing upright? It communicates strength, composure, and self-assurance without saying a word. That's magnetic. And let's address the silver hair conversation for a second. There's something bold about a woman who embraces her natural color and owns it. It sends a message: I'm not hiding. I'm evolving. That energy alone turns heads. Because confidence in your natural state is rare. If someone has ever said, "I hope I look like you at your age," that's not just a compliment. That's admiration. And admiration rooted in vitality hits deeper than compliments rooted in youth. But here's where it gets even stronger. Physical details might catch attention. But the next sign? It commands respect. Here's where it gets really powerful. Notice how people treat you. Do they listen when you speak? Do they seek your opinion? Do they give you space, not because you demand it, but because your presence naturally commands it? That's confidence. And not the flashy kind, the quiet, unshakable kind that only comes with life experience. When you know your worth, you don't chase validation. You don't try to prove anything. You walk into a room, and your energy says, "I am enough. I know my value." And that kind of presence is magnetic. Think about it, younger women notice it, men notice it, and peers notice it. It changes the way people interact with you. They naturally gravitate towards someone who carries themselves with assurance. Confidence makes you look more attractive than any expensive outfit ever could. It's silent, subtle, but impossible to ignore. And here's a secret most women miss. Confidence is contagious. When you're secure in yourself, it inspires others to be comfortable around you. People feel drawn to that energy because it's rare. It's authentic. It's real. So, if you've noticed people treating you with respect, valuing your opinions, or admiring the way you carry yourself, take note. That is a clear sign that your attractiveness isn't fading, it's evolving. And speaking of energy, the next sign is one that literally makes people want to be around you. Here's one that often flies under the radar: your energy. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed people naturally gravitate toward you? Cashiers remember your name. Strangers start chatting with you. Conversations flow easily, and people leave feeling lighter, happier, or understood. That's charisma. And it's magnetic. It's not about flashy smiles or showing off. It's about warmth. The way your eyes light up. The way your posture is relaxed but confident. The subtle gestures that show you're present, attentive, and genuinely interested. People aren't just drawn to how you look, they're drawn to how you make them feel. That's beauty in its most timeless form. A woman with natural charm knows how to engage without dominating. She listens with intention. She makes others feel heard. And that creates an irresistible aura. And here's the kicker: charisma grows stronger with age. You've accumulated experiences, empathy, and patience that radiate in subtle but powerful ways. If people tell you, "I hope I have your energy when I'm older," that's not a casual compliment. It's admiration for the magnetic way you exist in the world. And the final sign? It's subtle, almost sneaky, but impossible to ignore once you notice it. Here's the one that really seals it. Have you ever noticed someone stealing a glance at you, just a little longer than expected? Maybe a stranger at the store, someone holding a door a bit longer than usual, or even a younger woman quietly admiring your style. That's not random. That's presence speaking louder than words. You're not being noticed because you look like you did at 25. You're being noticed because you carry yourself differently now, with confidence, elegance, and an effortless charm that only comes with experience. The way you move, the way you make eye contact, even how you smile subtly, all of it adds up. It creates a magnetic aura that makes people pay attention without you trying. And here's the secret most women miss. It's not about age. It's about authenticity. The more comfortable you are in your own skin, the more people are drawn to it. So, if you've ever caught a lingering glance, a subtle smile, or someone suddenly attentive when you enter a room, don't brush it off. That's proof that your beauty hasn't faded. It's evolved. It's stronger. It's undeniable. And now, let's tie it all together. Let's pause for a second and really take this in. We've covered 7 signs that show your attractiveness hasn't disappeared, it's transformed. 1. People compliment your presence, not just your looks. 2. Younger women admire your style and effortless elegance. 3. People lock eyes with you when you speak. 4. You receive compliments on your skin, hair, and posture. 5. People respect your confidence naturally. 6. You exude a warm, charismatic aura. 7. You catch people stealing glances at you. See the pattern? This isn't about chasing youth. It's about embracing who you are today. The life you've lived, the lessons you've learned, the confidence you've earned. Your beauty isn't frozen in time, it's refined, magnetic, and effortlessly captivating. Here's the part most women miss: aging isn't fading into the background. It's evolving. It's stepping into a new kind of power. One where your presence commands attention, your style inspires, and your confidence draws people in naturally. So, take a moment and reflect. Which of these signs have you noticed in yourself? Where have you felt that quiet magnetism without even realizing it? Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your story matters. And if this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Because every glance, every compliment, every meaningful conversation is proof your beauty is alive, evolving, and stronger than ever. Remember, you're not invisible. You're not fading. You're refined, magnetic, timeless. And the world is noticing.